Pauline Hanson also put forward, of One Nation Party, put forward what I would regard as a very common sense, uncontroversial, quite straightforward and sensible recommendation, which was for an inquiry into what is happening with puberty blockers in the medical sphere, and what we have seen throughout the West, which is this rapid onset or increase in gender dysphoria, particularly amongst children. Now, Pauline has simply asked for an inquiry and to find out what is going on with puberty blockers. She lists a whole lot of questions that she would like answered, all of which are, as I said, uncontroversial and common sense. And this is in the light of what we've seen in the US and, more importantly, in Britain with the Tavistock Institute, which was performing a lot of this kind of transgender surgery, puberty blockers stuff on children with dire consequences, and the place had to be shut down. So given that a place had to be shut down, Alex, in Britain, it would make perfect sense to be asking, are we sure that these procedures are carried out ethically, sensibly, etc. in Australia? Yet, this bill was blocked. Now, I'm not surprised it was blocked by the likes of the Greens and the Hard Left and the Hanson Youngs and the Wongs and all that crowd. But I was pretty distraught to see Liberals, including the leader of the Liberals in the Senate, Simon Birmingham, and Andrew Bragg, who I guess I would call the bedwetters of the Liberal Party, others would call them the moderates, opposing this and saying, no, we don't want an inquiry into puberty blockers. Can you explain to me, Alex, why your colleagues would not want to see an inquiry into what is possibly an abuse of these procedures?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, just from the start there, I just say this was what I thought to be a very sensible request, and something that was, once again, uncontroversial. I would have said it was a request for a referral to the Community Affairs Committee here in the Senate. It wasn't a request for laws. It was simply a request for a dive into these issues. Things like whether puberty blockers are actually reversible, the views of parents in the education system, and a whole range of other issues which were really just for exploration, including the Tavistock decision, how that affects Australia. So it didn't strike me as being controversial. I was a little surprised that the coalition didn't support it outright, but clearly there was a divergence of views among some of our colleagues about whether or not a simple inquiry should take place. And as a result of that, it was taken as a conscience vote to allow people to vote on their conscience. I don't think it required that in this instance, but I have to say I am always grateful that the party does allow people to vote with their conscience on occasions like this. But once again, this is a serious issue, and gender dysphoria is clearly on the march. We've seen proof of that over the last few weeks. There's been evidence coming out that it's a major and growing problem. It's something that parents talk to me about all the time. So I would have thought a simple inquiry would have been a reasonable move myself.
Alex Antic, always great to talk to you. Common sense. And of course, we can't wait for the next time you haul someone up in the Senate there and ask them to define what a woman is. Keep up the great work and have a terrific Christmas, Alex, if we don't see you before then.